Okay, you're on, Robert.
Okay.
This is Robert. Robert did a wonderful video about the Angel Center, and it's very exciting because he sent it off to My Ghost Story, and they actually liked it. And so they're talking to him about perhaps doing an episode, yes? Okay, so that was very, very exciting. And again, he's the best professional as far as editing, and he's also a mad inventor. So some of this equipment is his own equipment. So that's also very, very exciting. Okay.
I'm going to go real fast because I don't want to bore anybody. A lot of stuff's kind of weird stuff. But this is a laser that's got a simple grid on it, and the energy is just divided up so that it doesn't hurt anybody's eyes. And it's on a prism with a very sensitive spring. And the idea is that vibrations will move it. You can see as I'm moving around, so we can't really move around much. But if we can get an entity to come near the equipment and ask them to touch that or try and compress their energy into that, then we can see if that responds. So I don't know how long the battery lasts, we'll keep that running. So the further away you have it, the more sensitive it is. That's just the way, the dynamics of it. So that's unique. And I have typical MEL meters and K2 meters over here, which are pretty much standard in the industry. This blue light you see over here is an E-field detector. So if I had a static charge right here, like a piece of plastic, and I went near that, that would go off. It doesn't really make a sound. So if we see that go off, then that says that that entity has got a charge in this field and it's being detected by that. This right here is another unit that measures E-fields. And if this one goes off, you'll actually hear the light will go on and it'll make a beep sound. And that means that some entity tried to touch this wire or go near this area right here. If it could get enough static energy or E energy, then this will be triggered. And then this is an EVP recorder. It's a digital recorder. And then I have a microphone here that is unique. It's a special circuit that kind of filters out some of the ambient sounds as we're moving around. And then it lets in the energy from EVPs to be analyzed. And then I use software to analyze what I get to make sure.
Oh, you better tell me what an EVP is.
Oh, okay, electronic voice phenomenon. And it's kind of a unique thing. We're at the Angel Center, and I got several EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. And it's a phenomena where you don't really hear it while you're there most of the time. And you go back and you analyze the data, and all of a sudden you hear a very, very faint sound. And usually spirits aren't into high tech, so you're not going to get a stereo sound. You're not going to get a surround sound. You know, you're going to get you're not going to get anything weird like that. You're going to get a monophonic thing.
Oh, yeah, no, we had that one.
So it'd be a monophonic sound. And the way I designed the microphone is to kind of make the monophonic sound, the simple sounds, more pronounced than the stereo sounds. If I'm talking right here as I'm moving around, when Amy was talking, and I'm listening to this later on, I'll know she's there because of the positional information of these two microphones. They're really close to where your ears are. Just like if I was right here, I would know she's right there. So I do it on purpose so that I'm not fooled by a cough in the corner or somebody talking over there, so that I can get positional information from the audience or from Amy or myself. An EVP, if it comes in, it won't have positional information typically. In fact, there's been a lot of theories that say it bypasses the microphone. It doesn't even use a microphone because it's not even using the acoustics. So the acoustics are there in case there is an EVP that we all hear, or they can be bypassed by the circuit and we can analyze it later. So if we can get an entity to come here and to move the prism, touch it, or to go near these instruments, this will sense it. This blue light will go off if there's a static charge near it. This one, red light, will come on, make a beeping sound, and then I'll analyze the audio later. And then there's an infrared. You can see it glowing there, a little red. You really can't see that. Our eyes aren't sensitive to that. There's two cameras right there that have been modified by me. I took them apart, and they see the whole spectrum that we don't see, kind of like a bat almost. And so there's two cameras there, and I sync them up, and I try and get 3 dimensions. And I do that because, first of all, it's cool. It's 3D, and that's really hot right now. But the main reason I do it is that if there's something that comes up, you can really look at the positional information of it. You know, just like my hand right here, if I will go towards that camera, you'll see 3D of my hand going towards that camera. So a lot of times orbs people get, and orbs sometimes are unique, sometimes they're just dust. So with positional information, I can really determine whether it's dust or an orb or a bug. So that's why I do 3D. That's why that's being done. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
What's the most exciting one you've ever gotten?
Probably at the Angel Center was the ones that I got. Because of the fact that we were asking questions and getting responses. And none of us heard them when we were there. And I had my brother-in-law with me, and he showed up a little late, and I said, you know, you got to take this really seriously. He's kind of like a funny guy like me. And I said, you know, we got to be respectful. I know this is kind of an unusual environment. So he was being really respectful and not joking and being really serious. And when we got near this mirror and I started asking questions, I had a constant EVP energy there on this unit over here. And there's that American Indian word, takiyasan. And it's used a lot even in sweat lodge ceremonies.
Yeah.
And I never knew that until then. I was told that by Amy's son, John. Mm-hmm. So I asked my brother-in-law, I was saying, do you remember what that word is? I was going to say it. And out of the blue, he sings a phrase. He goes, Ameriki. And I didn't even hear that. And I realized at that point, you know, I didn't hear anything. So when I analyzed the data, I'm hearing these words. I'm like, boy, he's screwing around. I'm thinking, that's really strange. And then immediately he goes after it and he asks John behind him, you know, about takiyasan. So I have no memory of that. He has no memory of that. So all of a sudden these words came out. And if you do a search, they do have meaning to slavery and what we were experiencing in the basement there. So, you know, so it was just a cool experience there to get things the first time we were there and the second time we were there. So and that's what I try to document. And that's why my ghost story is interesting, because we did get some compelling EVPs. They want more visual evidence now. They want, you know, something like that, moving orbs. They want things like that. So that's what we're trying to do, is enhance what we already have.
Was that at the old Angel Center then?
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But I wouldn't be surprised if things have migrated to where she's at now in some form,
Duh.
because it wouldn't surprise me at all.